Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 with the Chicago White Sox. Look who our opening day opponent is. Intrigue. But we're the new look White Sox with mostly the same players, but not entirely the same players. A lot of comments about our new friend Hisanobu Igarashi. Going from oldest to newest, we had Ironhead34 saying Igarashi and its contract for 25-year-old seems like quite the gift. It is a very reasonable contract. I'm pretty pumped about it. I'm a little concerned about it once he turns 30, but for now it's very, very reasonable. Very, very reasonable. He also pointed out maybe we should let Geronimo play third and move Chilo over to second. We talked about this a little bit last episode, but it's worth another look. So Chilo's got really good range, air, and arm. He's fairly good at turning double plays. He's not the best, but he's fairly good at it. Chilo's got the range and the arm. He actually has better range. And arm... I get where you're coming from, and it is going to take Chilo time to learn third. But I still think that's fun. I think that's acceptable. We could play Jerkowski at third, and then let Chilo play short. We have lots of different options here, and I'm just curious to see how they all work out for us. So we'll put that one in our back pocket and have a think about that one as we play through. The pattern is real. Welcome to the channel. You said you're shocked I got a Yurishi for that cheap, echoing Ironhead34. You said we should check waivers every day on opening day. That's not a terrible idea. You can definitely get some really great deals there. Yeah, something that the pattern is real also brought up is the idea of playing the field versus playing DH. And Igarashi, for the full context of the comic, because you didn't see it, he said that in his games, I'm assuming he's a he, I apologize if you're not, but he said that when he is playing his games, he is almost always seeing players that are playing DH perform more poorly. One thing I would want to counteract that with is it's important to realize what you mean by performing poorly. Because designated hitter comes with a negative WAR adjustment, players can be very effective at DH, but still have pretty bad WAR rating. So if WAR rating is what you're relying upon, it's going to look bad if he's a DH. That's just the way that the math works out. I think first base is also a negative, but it's a much smaller one. Let me see here. Positional weights in WAR. Yeah, so I'm looking at Baseball Reference's website right now. DH, first base, and the corner outfield positions all have negatives. DHs have a negative of 15 runs, which is 1.5 WAR. First base is about -1 WAR, and then left and right field are both -7 runs, so not quite a full WAR. So bringing it all together just to say that if you're basing it purely off of WAR, then that can be misleading if the guy's a DH and wants to play first base or vice versa. The difference is about half a win, so to speak. However, I do know what you're talking about in real life. There's definitely evidence that some players just don't like being DHs. They get bored or whatever while they're waiting for the next turn to hit. And that can be a problem in real life. I don't know whether that's actually captured in the game. It'd be kind of cool if it is. But at least in the short term here, especially with Edwin Hernandez being a Gold Glove caliber first baseman, I think it makes sense to keep him there. But we'll see. We will definitely take a look and adjust as we need to. So thank you for those amazing comments. The plan to have the pattern is real. We have Razorhawk, who's been trying to catch up on both the White Sox and the Rockies series. He says, I want to see the decision history in both series. I got you covered for the White Sox one now, and I'll get you on the Rockies for Monday. And lastly, Rekia, I'm gonna guess, is this person's name. Said they've been having success with a highly favorability scout. They're ruthlessly realistic and dependable for me, so I don't need to dream on finding diamonds in the rough for hidden superstars for my org to be loaded. That's true. So I've talked about this a couple of times, but I think it still bears repeating. The difference between these two ratings are your scouting directors. If you get some of the favors tools, they're going to go for the high potential guys, the ones that have out of the world skills, but maybe not as much experience putting them into practice. This is happening a lot in football for recently. Thinking of Anthony Richard for the Indianapolis Colts, a guy that has, big frame, throws the ball really hard, but isn't actually that good in practice because he doesn't have the experience of the position. It's not quite the same thing for baseball, but it is a thing. It is a realistic thing. That there are just some players that look like they're really, really good. Maybe they run really fast, they hit the ball really hard, but for whatever reason, they can't put it together, and they're not very good on the field. Highly favored ability is what can I measure? Like, okay, I'm watching this guy play. Okay, he's got... It's almost like the classic divide between high school and college baseball players. College players tend to have a much higher floor, but a much lower ceiling. It's not a guarantee. You can still flame out pretty spectacularly as a college player. But high school players are the ones that give you tools. And you want to get them early in their career if you can, because then you've got them for longer. So there's merits to both approaches. The meta changes all the time, though. Rekia is suggesting that maybe right now it's more ability. And they could well be right. I find the best time to make the transition is when your team turns the corner. If you are a very good team that is in the postseason quite frequently, like us, almost half the time, quite literally, then ability becomes more useful because you're not going to be picking toward the top end of the draft, which is where the really great players are. That said, there's other ways to get great players. You can get them through international free agency, either the amateur or pro version. You can trade. There's other ways to get great players. But if you want to get really top... This is fucking hilarious. Acquire power hitter. Closest match, Raul Garza. I'm just saying all those numbers are blue, my friend. They're all blue. But yeah, so your experience is your experience. I'm not going to question that. But in my personal experience, I found that you want to tend to go a little bit more neutral in 26. Favors one way or the other is fine. Highly. The problem with highly favors ability is you're not going to get the people that take big steps forward, which is what you need sometimes. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Raul Garza's the power hitter. He's not even a power hitter. What the hell, game? Where was I going with that? Yes, but in this particular game, I think neutral is better. Trusting too much in ability can mean that you never get the top tier skill that you need. And so you find yourself with a team that's got a lot of like all-star type players, but you don't have any really great players that take you to the next level. I think it's a very important distinction to be made. Obviously, just like the classic scouting question, do you want beer or tacos? The answer is always both. There's arguments made for either position. Our current scouting director, I believe, his favors ability. No, he's neutral, I think. I think he's got a heart full of neutrality, which I think is just fine. He's not my perfect scouting director. I wish he was a little bit better at scouting internationally, but I think this is fine for right now. I think it's acceptable. But thank you all for the comments. Always love seeing and talking with you folks through videos, and hopefully we'll see some more in the next one. What are we trying to do this episode? We're trying to win the World Series. And we have been a very successful team. I don't think it's possible to argue that we haven't been very successful. We've had one losing season since, let's say I took over in 2026. So yeah, we had 4 losing seasons in 25 years. 25 years? That sounds too high. 24. So 20 winning seasons is pretty damn good. We've got 12 playoff appearances, 2 championships. All perfect examples, but I want more. I want a lot more. I want 10,000 championships. I don't want 10,000 championships, but I do want a lot of championships. Let's meet my promise. I said we look at the decision history because I wanted to check it out here. So early, we'll look at my top 15. I think it's more fun to see more options here. My best trade ever was Mike Talkman, who played a little bit. He actually came back and played for us later in his career, which is kind of fun. Eduardo Herrera, who had a very long career that ended in the minor leagues. And we got Yorger Bautista, who honestly was worth the price of admission on his own. Gabe Moncada and Danny Chavez never ended up amounting to much, but Bautista alone was pretty great. You can see that breakdown right here. Next, we had this deal here. We traded Jason Miller, Hussein, Mitch Waters to get Oscar Balboa. Oscar Balboa was really good for a while, and then he wasn't, and we got rid of him before he sucked. So that's always a great fit. Garrett Kozic, the legend. Colson Montgomery didn't have that exciting a career. We got Adam Wiley in trade from the Twins, thanks to Jonathan Holstrom. Mr. Tibbs had a pretty good career early on. A more recent trade, we got Ricardo Vasquez, who has since moved on, but that's pretty exciting. This is a gigantic trade made possible mostly by Jay Horner, which is pretty cool. Chance Livingston, I remember him. Good times. Raul Valle won 3 World Series championships. I must have won with somebody else that wasn't me. That's true. Passer turned into Billy Reed. That was a pretty solid deal. This isn't so much I made a great trade as I got rid of the bad players. Marco Ramirez still has a chance to be very, very good. So watch this space, guys. This one might end up biting me in the butt in the long term. Although Abel Zarn is pretty solid, and we also see quite like Brian Nels as a virtually perfect closer. My big mistakes, Raul Valle. So we got big ups for bringing him in and then small ups for kicking him out. Mostly because none of these guys ever worked out. Dan Hatcher coming the closest to being useful, I suppose. Chris Rainsford, did he end up having a good career, or is it just that Jason Ransom was just trash? I guess Chris Ransford evidently had an acceptable major league career, which is unexpected, but fine, I suppose. Pablo Craig. I don't even remember this deal at all, which is probably not a great look for me, but oh well. Okay. These are mostly guys that didn't, like, it's more that I didn't get anything in return, not that I traded anything fantastic. Losing Alex Hubbard, and this one I kind of knew would hurt, but it was my own fault for not paying close attention, but we drafted Herb Berry, who's still has a reasonable chance of making the Hall of Fame, even if he's not going to do it with me. Jaden Charles was pretty great. We've got some really good players. Our problem is simply that we don't have great players. Hall of Fame caliber players, other than possibly Barry. So, hopefully you found this interesting, and I'll do the same for the Rockies in the next one. So, White Sox v. White Sox. We've got Adam Wiley facing Alex Gonzalez. Let's get it done. Let's baseball, my friends. Sato's going to miss another week. That's okay. Excuse me. Jackie Robinson, bro. Um, I wish I could remember the name of the book that I read on Jackie Robinson. Long time ago. But it was a book of fiction and actually like painted him in a very realistic position. It wasn't purely hagiography. It was this is what he actually went through. Really, really good book. I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me though, and I don't think I have it anymore. Some stuff here. Igarashi just lost power, except maybe he didn't? Question mark. What are we looking at here? Basically nothing. Like none of these numbers are meaningful because no one has enough at bats. We are very, very cold to start the season, but we're also very, very hot in terms of pitching, and this will balance itself out. We just need more time. I'm not even gonna worry about it. We're gonna see what things look like at the end of April, and then we'll make some calls here. We get Sato back, which is pretty great. I do want Sato to pitch for me, but let's first see. Let us initially see if anyone is struggling. Because I don't mind. Jeff Allen's really struggling. Can I demote Jeff Allen? Is that a thing I'm legally permitted to do? It is. I'd like Jeff Allen to get some more experience in AAA, but I also recognize the fact that he needs to stay in the majors because he's already 27. The correct answer is probably Mike Cole, if I'm being honest with you, but it's actually John Sin. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to send him down. We're going to activate Sato. I mean, I guess the correct answer is we just let Sato rehab. Maybe that's the correct decision. We'll do that. Sorry, Mr. Sin. You're like, what the fuck, man? I got you, buddy. We'll let you do some long relief in an emergency. The Jerkov is going to be out for 5 days. If he's only out for 5 days, then I'm not going to bother making a roster move. We're just going to kind of chill out. We're struggling to score runs consistently. I say that as we go on a bit of a scoring binge, but there's a time it was very dark. We weren't scoring consistently. Igarashi leading the league in home runs. You'd love to see it. Adels aren't stealing 14 bases in 1 month is also pretty impressive. And he also got 6 hits in a game. Clearly somebody is like, I'm sorry, boss. Gillen, 3 home runs and 5 hits. Mike Orr's gonna miss 8 months. Boomer. Bonuelos. Sosa playing for the White Sox. Oh, wait a minute. It's that Sosa. How good was Zarn actually? You know what? 5 singles and a home run is perfectly acceptable to me. Igarashi is newcomer of the month. So we're starting to look pretty good in a lot of ways. Not flawless, obviously. Certainly Edwin Hernandez is off to his usual ice-cold start. I don't know why he always starts so cold, but he does. Yeah. I mean, we still barely have 150 plate appearances, so this isn't a lot to make. So something I mentioned, remember I said there's a negative WAR just from for DHs? Look how fucking good he looks already. 5 wins from a DH is a sign that he is very, very good at hitting baseballs. Abel Zarn, clearly trying to make up for lost time. Jerkovsky, look, it's his first experience in the major leagues. He's only 21. It's going to take him some time to figure it out. His WAR still looks positive, though, because he's probably been very effective defensively, which he has been. Evan Peralta is such a weird player, but I love him. I love players with weird skill sets, and I'm a good center fielder that also happens to hit really big home runs. Is pretty fun. So even though his batting average isn't that great, I still like him quite a bit. Plus, Geronimo is looking like the odd man out. So there's every possibility Geronimo finds out moving down the lineup here in the not too distant future. But do I swap Peralta and Geronimo at this point in the season? I know Chilo's got a good batting average, and I don't want to denigrate that. I don't want to say that it's a bad thing he's got a good batting average, but he's actually not that great a hitter. He's slightly below average, so he's picking up third base at a rapid pace, though, so he's going to be fine in a very short period of time. Do I just move up Peralta? Is that the correct answer here? Do I take advantage of his blistering power and pair him with Murguia, who looks really shifty this year? I don't know why I can't ever have outfielders that have a good season 2 years in a row. It seems like we've been cursed. So this is going to be the new plan. I'm going to give Peralta more meaningful at-bats and see what he does with them, and we'll see if that sparks the offense a bit more. Who's the next outfielder up? If I decide that I'm done with Murguia's bullshit. Sam Friels. I mean, he exists. I can't argue with the fact that he literally lives and breathes. Ryan Grammer, maybe. Raul Ramirez, maybe. I don't know. I'm really hoping Murguia figures it out, because this is not my problem with him. 267 is whatever. This is my problem with him. You're a power hitter that isn't hitting for power. And that's what's going to kill your value. So hopefully you're able to figure it out quite quickly, because if you're not, I'm going to have to make some tough calls here. But still nice and early in the season. Pitching looks really good. Mike Cole is taking to the majors with a great deal of impressiveness. Mostly because he is walking people, but he's not giving up hits. And that's a good combination, right? Like, if you're going to have to walk people, don't also let them get hits. 2 home runs so far this season is pretty good. Jeff Allen is struggling pretty badly, but it looks worse than it is. It looks like maybe he's having some bad defense luck. Who is struggling? But everyone's playing well defensively. I think he's just having bad luck so far. That's what I choose to believe anyway. If you're the kind of guy that walks out of hitters, don't also let them get hits. That's the difference between him and Cole. Cole's having a good season. Allen is not, for that very reason. Picard, look, I have zero expectations that you're able to keep this together, that you're able to keep an OPS this low. But if you turn into like a secret ace in your 33rd year in this league, I would be overjoyed. Also, you think his control is not as bad as the old guy did, so maybe we're alright. The Lawman and Sergio, actually most of the bullpen is struggling, other than Brian Nels, who looks fantastic. But Timothy Lawman is pretty badly struggling here. It's not hard to see why. He's getting hit. He's getting hit hard. A home run every 4 innings is not what you're looking for out of a pitcher. Terry Baton looks pretty good. Brian Barnes looks alright. Tanner Lee looks fine. Vince Turner looks a bit sussy, but not the end of the world. Do you have relievers that want more opportunities? Not really. They're all kind of working on it. I mean, I feel like Josh Heath has a lot to offer me. But I also think there's no need to rush with him. A lot of guys here don't have very good control. Is Jeff Allen struggling better for me than Jeff Allen figuring it out in AAA? It's probably time to bring Sato home. It feels like he was given his opportunity and he's not making the most of it, so we let Sato return and we let him enjoy his season here. Gonna monitor the bullpen because I definitely want to make some moves if the opportunity presents itself. What I also want is I want another starter out of the bullpen, but for right now, this is fine. Willie Vasquez is playing quite well, actually. He's not flawless by any stretch of the imagination, but he's got plenty of power. And it looks like he's handling himself fairly well defensively as well. So we're going to keep this going on here, and we're just going to see how things look in June. It's not going to take much for us to become a dominating team, but the biggest thing that has to happen is we have to get our lineup a bit warmer. Especially Edwin Hernandez. Losing Alvarado for 2 months is really poopy, and I don't appreciate it, but I guess we deal with it. I don't really want Jeff Allen to come back, but I don't have a better option right now, so I think that's what's going to happen here. Sato, you're the 4th starter, and Jeff Allen gets to return and be the 5th starter. I know that I could just add a new starting pitcher. I could trade for one, but I think this is the correct choice here. I think it's the very correct choice. Oh, this makes me very sad that he's out for 2 months. Especially on a hamstring strain. Come on, bruh. But I get it. Your career is going to be really weird because you're not overpowering. Your only real advantage is the fact that you're left-handed. So you may have a short career just naturally. We're going to lose... Okay, Zarn... Okay, this looks like it's minimal actual effect. I think we're going to have him play through it. And then if he does get more seriously hurt, then Sam Friels gets to debut. Okay, Sato is definitely getting hurt a little bit too frequently for my taste. And he hurt something important, didn't he? He strained his back, which means he's bad at running. Who the fuck cares? Like, your job is not to run. Your job is to pitch. Steve Caldwell, if he improves his walk rate just a tiny bit, is going to be so good. Like, really, really good. Really, really good. Okay, Jakovsky, the fact that you keep getting hurt does not make me happy. I will put you on the IL and give you some time to recover. Hugo Gonzalez is an okay shortstop, I guess. Danny Ramirez is a good first baseman for a shortstop. Alejandro Hernandez is an okay utility guy, but I wouldn't push him far past that. So I guess that means by default, Hernandez gets the spot and Hugo Gonzalez gets to play shortstop. Or Chilo moves to shortstop. Or Carlos Geronimo moves to shortstop. And then we let Danny Ramirez play second, which a position I think he's marginally better at. Danny Ramirez, we're going to try this. This is a terrible idea for oh so many reasons. Actually, we're going to play Hugo Gonzalez at second. That's my final decision. You play third. Actually, you play third. All right, here's the idea, guys. Chilo to third, or Gonzalez to third, Chilo to second, Geronimo to short. Ready, break. Short, second, and third. I do want Danny Ramirez on the roster. I think he offers us a very potent bat that can hang around the infield, but I don't want him playing the infield every day. I don't think that's what's best for this team. What's best for this team is just Hugo Gonzalez being Hugo Gonzalez, I believe. All right, let me generate a new depth chart here. I don't want Danny Ramirez playing shortstop. Under no circumstances do I ever want him playing shortstop. You want to let him give breaks, that's fine, but he is not playing shortstop. I refuse to allow such a travesty to occur. Also, Ryan Grammer's not that great either. He's fine, but he's not the kind of guy that I'm going to bench Murguia in favor of. Henarato depth chart. And there we go. We may want to push Jerkovsky back to AAA, especially if we're able to still have a good season, because I wouldn't mind him getting more experience, especially if he got hurt. But we will see. Like, I'm not going to make any decisions right this second, but Mike Cole gained that level of control I was hoping for, which makes me very excited. I just love how the AI does this shit. Like, it's just like, what if his skill just completely dissolved for no reason? I don't know how. Yeah, I think this is just telling me lies, but whatever. It seems this happens way too often with these import type players, which makes me a bit sad. Tchaikovsky was getting better for what it's worth. Mato Arnett is getting better. That's kind of nice. Okay. Like any world in which any world in which my very best batter is not Igarashi is a world that we're going to be struggling in. He has been as advertised with the power. He's could hit 50 home runs this year, which is what we wanted him to do. Edwin Hernandez is thoroughly mid, and that's really sad to me. Because getting rid of him is going to be nearly impossible. Abel Zarn looks good. Murguia is fine. Peralta's okay. We're really lacking in the offensive department here. It's hard for me just like keeping Murguia in the lineup. Like, what's keeping him in the lineup for me is the fact that we know he's capable of hitting better, but he's also been a god-awful outfielder. And for all of his possible faults, Sam Friels is a better outfielder than he is. Luis Perez, we could call up maybe and let him get some playing experience in the major leagues. This, I think, would be smart too. If I trade Edwin Hernandez, people are going to be ultra pissed at me. But the thing is, he's been really bad. If I'm going to swap one player, it's going to be Murguia. I have option years left, so it means I can demote him without any issues. Let's do that, and let's call up Sam Friels. And then Sam, you're going to get into the lineup at left field. Wait, Zarn, you're going to play right, sorry. Are you going to clean up? No, it's actually going to be Peralta, funnily enough, because Peralta's got big power. So hopefully you do okay. That would make me very happy if you did. And then, so Murguia gets to chill out in the minors. He gets to rediscover his swing. Luis Perez is basically Edwin Hernandez, but doesn't strike out as much, which has definitely been creeping up. My thing is, I don't think Edwin Hernandez can go anywhere. Also, doesn't want to be traded. Still a good first baseman. Let's see if Friels moves the needle at all. If he doesn't, then we have other choices, but this is kind of where I want to start. I do want to get Luis Perez up in the majors because I do think he offers us some pretty excellent skills. Um, but I don't know where to play him because he's not an outfielder. Neither is Hernandez, neither is Igarashi. So that's 3 players for 2 positions, which is not fun. Where did Juan Romero come from? Have you always been like this superstar? No, you've actually gotten just substantially better, like out of nowhere. That's really exciting, actually. Love to see more catching development happening. I want to start getting Josh Heath into games. I think he's earned it in the majors. I think it's where he'll master the slider and turn into a really excellent reliever. Um, who's my odd man out currently in the bullpen? It's the lawman. I'm not going to get rid of the lawman, but I am going to demote him. I'm going to remove his role. And we're going to put somebody else who's been a better pitcher in his place. And that pitcher is probably Brad Barnes. No, it's Tanner Lee. So you're going to set up man in the 8th inning. You're a middle reliever. And Tanner Lee, you get to be the new setup guy in the 7th inning. Now the question is, what do I do here to improve the bullpen? And I think the genuine answer is we just let it go for right now, until a situation arises where I can fairly summon the possible savior, that is Josh Heath. Evan Peralta is way overexposed, but I don't have a better option right now. So we're going to see what happens. This is kind of a gnarly lineup, though. I wish Edwin Hernandez would stop starting every season like he's never played baseball before and would just start hitting like 260, 270 right off the bat. But his power's decreasing. He's striking out more frequently. Like, he's aging is the problem. And I don't have anything to do with him. We're just going to let the rest of this kind of go. Hugo Gonzalez has barely played. I don't have enough evidence to judge him. I think if we get close to the deadline and I can add an impact bat, I think we do it. I think that's what we're really missing to be truly special. Jose Marrero is still hanging around. That's kind of nice. Do your thing. And just scout, please. Scoot. Where is the fucking combine? Every single time I lose track of where it is. I know it's right here. But that doesn't take me to the scouting part. Here we go. It's the draft watch list. I will never remember that it's located there. You're overbooked, then how about you stop scouting bad pitchers, bad players, right? Oops. He's busy, great. Get your scouting in, my young friend. And let's advance to the end of June. Yeah. I'm gonna Ron Behrman. Ron Behrman is fine, but I can also just send you to the minors. Oh, I guess you have to be on the 42-man roster. I guess that's reasonable, but then you're going right to AAA. We get Mitchell Backhouse kind of soon. I'm actually kind of interested in that. But with a torn triceps, he's 1,000% rehabbing. He's not coming right back to the majors. Not when I've got guys like Alex Alvarado ready to come back. I've got other people. I just think they'll be very stupid to bring him back too early. Zarn, you're not even getting an IL stay for that. Ryan Grammer can play left field for a week. Well, that's how Heath gets his pitching spot. And you're just going to be a middle reliever for right now. Do you have a big platoon split? Or are you pretty great against anyone? You're better against lefties, but you're okay against righties. But you're much better against lefties. His turn's a little bit more well-rounded right this second, but I think you're going to be better in the future. I think this is an okay division of labor for the present, and then we can adjust as we need to. Jerkovsky is ready to come back. What if we let him rehab as well? Look, none of my infielders are all that fantastic, but he's less fantastic than any of them are, so letting him build up some endurance in the minors is a good idea. I gave you a power hitter, but I don't know, man. I think you're probably completely nuts. If the coaching staff is reasonably good, I'm not going to mess with it, and I think it is pretty good. Staff roles. Yeah, people are pretty happy. I suppose I could replace Anthony Nunez, but I think he gets along super well with my players. Yeah, I mean, Igarashi doesn't like him, but we can't all be superstars, right? You can have an extension. My third base coach is doing a great job. He is not the problem here, so we're going to keep him as well. And then all the minor league coaches will get offers. There you go. We'd probably go shopping this year. I feel like... Oh my god, could you stop injuring players, man? Losing Willie Vasquez actually makes me genuinely sad. I guess we could just call up Juan Romero, and I guess that's probably the best solution here. Let's do it. Let's just get all the mega prospect catchers to do mega prospect catcher things. He is quite good, although he's far away from his maximum potential. I still think he's a perfectly fine catcher. I feel pretty okay about that. 40-game hitting streak for Sam Stevens. That's pretty exciting. Good for you, bro. Interesting. Picard's getting worse. That's not unexpected. If Hugo Gonzalez is that terrible, we'll probably demote him and let Jerkovsky come back. I'm so glad I don't do videos for kids. I would have been like kicked off of all the social media. Guys, it's his name. Don't tase me, bro. You look like not the guy, Hugo. We're gonna bring Jerkovsky back. No, I'm gonna send Ramirez back. And the reason I'm sending Ramirez is because I like Ramirez's bat, and I think he can do useful things there, but he's not a very good infielder. And I want to make sure we have decent defense in case things go wrong. Are you gonna be shortstop again? Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you're playing second base pretty effectively. I think you can stay at second, and Chilo can stay at third, unless Chilo's struggling at third. Chilo's doing pretty problematically at third. Okay, fine. You win. You stay at second. And then Jerkovsky comes in and plays shortstop. Poor Hugo Gonzalez. He's like, I get major league playing time. Oh, wait, no, I don't. Have you considered not sucking? That would be a pretty great step, I feel. Right in the freels. Yeah, there's just no way that I'm going to let anyone play regularly. Like, Sam Friels needs to play as much as possible. I need to see what he can actually deliver before we do anything rash. But I think there's a very realistic possibility that we're going to be trying to acquire a hitter at the deadline, because I think we need one. Evan Peralta is a very effective player. He also should not be the cleanup hitter on this team. He definitely should not be the cleanup hitter. Evan Hernandez is getting there. He's getting back to what we're hoping for, but he's still very disappointing. Abel Zarn is also cooled off quite a bit. I'm very disappointed by my team once again. I mean, thank goodness for Igarashi, who's like the one truly above average hitter on this entire club. Because everyone else is we're just struggling as an offense. As good as we are pitching, we're that bad at offense. So something's got to give, and that something is probably going to be trying to import a veteran baseball hitter person. What do we got? Actually, let's check the trade block. Is there any hitters of interest? Jose Ortiz is not that guy. Omar Roca is not that guy. Johnny White? No. Patrick Wright? No. Let's start with outfielders. Let's do this. This should hopefully help me figure some shit out. Yeah, there's nothing here, guys. There are no good replacements. Maybe that'll change getting closer to the All-Star break or the deadline, but for right now, it's a pretty yikes field, so I think we might just have to suffer. Kazuo Kageyama, Enrique Gervasio, Paul Crouch, and Ricardo Diaz aren't very special. I just don't need Kageyama. I think the guys I have now are fine. You're not asking too much. You're just not giving me what I need in return. It's quite literally me, not you. Imagine Igarashi definitely got a spot. Cole, Gonzalez, Nels all made it. And nobody else made it. That's honestly not too unfair. That's not too unreasonable. Yeah. That's been rough. Getting 3 pitchers is nice. Getting Mike Cole in the All-Star game as a rookie is incredible. This has been truly fantastic, and I'm really excited that it looks this good. Enrique Sanchez is the only White Sox that made the prospect game. That's kind of wild. That is so unbelievably cruel, game, to know that I have one fucking hitter, and that you're just like, what if I injured him? That's so mean. Luis Perez, you're in. You're gonna be playing DH while Igarashi recovers. Don't fuck it up. Could also be Danny Rios makes his triumphant return to the lineup. I guess that was an option, but I kind of do want to see what Luis Perez has to offer here. He's clearly mastered the minors, so I think letting him get some playing time in the majors is pretty good. And I think it's a good use of the injury time from Igarashi. Draft time. What do I want? I want anything. I just want more and more talent. Ideally hitting talent, but I'll take any level of talent. We like Michael Lonnie. He's a pretty great reliever, don't get me wrong, but I feel like he would not be a good fit in terms of let's draft this guy. What is Danny Kaufman's deal? Danny Kaufman's deal is that he's incredibly limited. This is not a first round draft pick, friends. This is a trap. This is just not sustainable. It just isn't. Um, this draft got really bad really fast. So actually, I'm seriously considering drafting Michael Lonnie because he's at least good at his job. He's not perfect yet. His name is Blimp. He's only 200 pounds. Damn, son. Yeah, I think we will take Lonnie. Honestly, I don't really want him all that much, but there's not a better pick right now. Now we can start to get a bit more creative. So, I need to flag you as a draft pick, don't I? It's true. You do have to be a draft pick. How much money do I have to spend? I have a small sum of money. Let's see, Alvarez is too expensive and also not what I'm looking for. Jeff Larson, nope. Oh my god, it's 016B Baker, my favorite player. What is with this draft class? This draft class is genuinely terrible. Ryan Murphy is not a great pitcher. I get the appeal. I get he's got a live arm. He's got some nice looking pitches here. This control is just not sustainable. It's not. I don't trust him. Jonathan Tenorio, I like very much though, and I think he's going to be my draft pick. Is this my scouting director being neutral, or is this just genuinely a bad draft class? Because right now it's seeming like it's pretty bad. What's Devin Fulmer's deal? Devin Fulmer is not a great player either. He's slightly better than some of the other hitters we've looked at because he does have some offensive tools that aren't just I strike out every at bat, but surely we can do better, right? Surely? Chris Holmes, hello? Chris Holmes, hello. Welcome to the team. That is the pick I'm actually pretty happy about. Yeah, I can't do it. You're killing me, game. You're killing me. I'm not convinced Devin Fulmer is all that good. Nate Allen? What is Nate Allen's deal? Nate Allen's deal is that he is very, very fast. Nate Allen is okay. I think Nate Allen is the kind of guy that we can invest in and hope that he'll grow a little bit. Because it does have really great gap power, which means his batting average won't be entirely empty. He's quite fast and he's quite skilled defensively. I think he's a fine pick. So I think we're gonna go ahead and add Mr. Nate Allen to this baseball conglomeration known as the Chicago White Sox. We really like Ozzie Navarro. I don't not like Ozzie Navarro. I just question how good he actually is. But I suppose, all things considered, it's fine to draft him. I suppose he is also very young, which means there might even be more to his game that we unlock along the way. Okay, Zach Leibold just keeps falling in the draft class. Because he cost me $0, I will draft him right now. Maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's not a good idea, but it's one that I'm willing to consider. Craig Prunty is a no from me. Especially for $1 million, I don't think that works for me. Jared Davidson's fine. What do we have here skill-wise? Excuse me. Rob Avons is the kind of guy that I want. Let's make it happen, guys. Ken Huckabee is okay. I think the difference with him is the fact his strikeout isn't quite that bad. He does have these high traits, so I think there's a reasonable chance that Mr. Huckabee here turns out to be an acceptable baseball player. Let's look at some pictures now by raw abilities here. Let's look at stuff. I always like stuff in my pictures. I like big stuff, and I cannot lie. DJ Johnson, you're the kind of guy that I'm okay with taking a risk on because I think you've got some really interesting skills. And while, yes, your control isn't that good, if I was throwing a screwball as my number one pitch, mine probably wouldn't be great either. I think DJ Johnson is perfectly fine. Show Dempo Wolf. Okay. David Zafiri is, I think, the last pure toolsy guy that I'll take for now. And then we'll talk to our scouting director and see who he thinks we ought to take. You know what I should keep track of that I never do? I should keep track of who I pick and who my scouting director picks. Because I wonder if there would be a big difference between them. Juan Diaz isn't very exciting. Grant Butler is slightly less unexciting, but still not exciting. Mr. Odin here, you are a bizarre player. I have never seen a first baseman whose only tool is drawing walks. Just for the memes, I feel like I have to take him, but I don't anticipate him having even a mediocre major league career. I think I will take Juan Diaz. I think he's fine, especially for no money. You want Ed Tadini? Ed Tadini's okay. I keep taking outfielders. I should probably be looking for other positions as well. If we look at defense, do I have any decent defenders on tap? Where's the one that has all their potential position ratings? Here you go. Any good potential shortstops? We have a few that are like mediocre. Give me Bobby McAteer. Oh god, he's actually really bad. Like, these guys aren't very good, but I still think it's helpful to have them in my minor leagues to teach defense, maybe, I guess. Any good defensive center fielders? We have one, which is Steve Aguilar, who's also pretty bad. Okay. Alright, maybe don't draft for defense. Maybe that's the takeaway there. Give me Jason McQuinn. I think that's fine. And then let's go back to our scouting director. Let's let him feel helpful. You want Justin Brooks, huh? Well, you know what, buddy? You got him. Nick Brothers. I kind of respect what you're going for here, so I want to see what you turn out to be. But I don't think you're going to have a very successful career. Mike Throckmorton, what a name. You know what? Fuck it. Welcome aboard. You want Kevin Poirier? You've got it. He's also genuinely an okay prospect for this late in the draft. All right, we did the things. Let's get some people added on here. There's not a single top 10 prospect in this draft class. There's not even a top 25 prospect in this draft class. I mean, depending how kind you are to a guy like a Michael Lonnie, who could very rapidly end up in the majors, the rest of this class is not very thrilling. It's fun, but it's not great. It isn't excellent. Mitchell Backhouse is ready to come back, we think? Question mark. Do I want him back? Yes, I do. What do I do with him? I don't know. Is Jeff Allen still on the struggle bus? Jeff Allen is on every seat of the struggle bus. Mitchell Backhouse, I can say one thing about you with no hesitation. You are not Jeff Allen. And right now that makes you overqualified for your job. The lawman is ready to come back. Let's let him rehab a bit, I think. Alvarado's ready to come back. He's someone I'm a lot more excited to get back in the rotation here. Johnson is getting his job done in the minors. Josh Heath very clearly is not ready. Understood. Josh Heath, please return to the minor leagues. Alex Alvarado, get your butt back in the major leagues. Okay. Hey, Jim Gorenflow. Sorry, mate. Okay. Backhouse can definitely be the fifth, the guy out of the bullpen who does starting stuff. I think that's very reasonable for you. Cool. Is it Tenorio? Are you the reliever? No. It's not Holmes. It's not Navarro. It's not Johnson. Is it Nate Allen? No, it's not Nate Allen either. It's Michael Lonnie. Michael, you're in AAA already. Beautiful. That's where you deserve to be. Edwin has a contusion for a week. I'm just gonna let that happen, and then we will address it. I'm being annoyed by Epic Games that there are free games. I'll look at you later, Epic Games. Don't bother me. Go away. Okay, we get Igarashi back. That is fantastic news. Luis Perez has gotten on base really well, but that's it. And I'm not going to keep him over Igarashi. That would be comically stupid in every definition of the term stupid. Get back in this lineup. Make us whole again, my friend. Did I say whole? Yes. Yes, I did. I'll tell you why. Because it grows the brand. Is my outfield still all kinds of yikes? It's not great. Really, everyone not named... Actually, everyone sucks. Do I fire my hitting coach again? How were our runs scored that low last year? Wait, what? I know it's not a bit in the best in the universe, but how in the hell are you this bad at this? Like, every important young player doesn't even like you. I think we have to fire you at the end of the season. Maybe. Our pitching must be truly legendary because I do not know how this lineup has won 65 games already. We're almost 20 games over 500, despite the fact that nearly every single hitter on this team sucks. Like, let me make sure to prove you that I'm not making it up. WOBA says I have one truly above average hitter in the everyday lineup, which is Igarashi. Peralta and Hernandez are fine. Everyone else has varying levels of suck. This has not been an exciting season. Sam Friels, I would like you to leave this club. I still think you've got some potential. I think this is one of these things that might bite me in the butt at some point. But you have been transcendently awful. And maybe I keep you anyway. I don't want to give him away too soon, and plus I want to see what is actually on offer before I make any decisions here. Andres Ruiz is uninteresting to me. I don't need a starting pitcher, thank you. Pitching is the one thing I'm very, very good at, so you're not helping, game. Can't you offer me good hitters? No, you can only offer me mediocre pitchers. I don't need pitching. What about my franchise convinces you that I need pitching for some reason? I don't get it, my friends. I cannot fathom it. Oh my god, stop offering me relievers. That suck. I don't think this is the best deal we can make. I think there's many, many better deals. Tomas Melendez sucks. Corey Ugueto, I remember you. Remember you had like a couple seasons that were just really awesome? Oh no, wait, you never pitched for me. You got traded by me. I mean, Cody Powell might still turn out to be okay. Gene Taylor and Brian Williams. Brian Williams might be okay too someday. Maybe. Alright, let's start the trading deadline. I want to see what people are offering, and I want to see if there is a quality hitter that I could add to my franchise. Harry Hubbard would actually be kind of a nice addition. I think he really gives some veteran leadership. He's also very injury prone, and I don't think I want that. Is he genuinely the best I can get? Like, Bill Howard is nothing special. Patrick Wright is just another guy that strikes out all the time. I don't need another one of those. Come on, guys. I'm in the market, and you're not offering me anything that's useful to me. Jose Ortiz could be alright, but I don't have that much money. I have hardly any money. Jose Trevino is a no thank you. Juan Alcala is fine, but not changing anything for me. Willie Vigil sucks. Johnny White sucks. Alright, what do I have that people want? I have an excess number of starting pitchers. This is true. This is a true statement. Terry Maton wants a gigantic raise. That's never gonna happen. Oh, we think arbitration is about to blow up next year. Yeah, Nels wants $15 million. I don't think he's gonna get that. I don't think that's the thing I can accept. Murguia is hitting a lot better in the minor leagues, so that's fun. I'm going to offer Danny Ramirez up, and we're going to see what kind of outfielders I might get for him. I think this is the best solution here. I want to look at all outfielders, regardless of position, or regardless of contract, and see just what is on offer here. Ryan Green's okay. Justin Lucan, I already know is not okay. I know that I don't want that. Adam Dame Bower is he's just another one of these guys that doesn't fit. Marco Quijada is fine, I suppose. Bill Howard, we already know is not what I'm looking for. Matt Franca is not what I'm looking for. Seth Foreman is kind of interesting as a center fielder, but only as a center fielder. John Mira is just acceptable. Blake Wagstaff is nothing. Mark Liler is nothing. Mike Alexander is fine, I suppose, but he's not good. Danny Ortega is a little interesting. He's got pretty good power and doesn't strike out as much as you'd think. So I think, to me, that seems like he could be an acceptable return for Danny Ramirez. What if I got Mike Alexander and the other guy? Can that be a thing? If I ask for Mike Alexander and Danny Ortega, is that a thing that can happen? I don't know that it makes me better this season, but it definitely makes me better. I don't know why the game likes Danny Ramirez so much. I truly don't fathom it. I admit he's got a reasonably good bat, and maybe that's why. But he only plays first and second, and those positions quite poorly. But he is a fairly complete hitter, and I think maybe we're doing ourselves a disservice if we give you Danny Ramirez. Yeah, I'm not going to give you Danny Ramirez. I changed my mind. I lied to you. Sorry, game. Do I trade Terry Maton? Is that rookie already hurt? Oh, do I have Tim Lawman that I can bring back. But who's that reliever that I just drafted? Just send him a double-A or something? Or is he hurt? Where did he go? Is this one of those Arizona Fall League things again? Or are we trying to make him into a starter randomly? Game? What did you do with my pitcher? Lonnie. Lonnie's in the draft league. Okay, so I could bring him back if I wanted to. I wonder what kind of offer I'd get for Terry Maton. Because that's the kind of guy that I am willing to offer, because I'm not going to bring him back on any salary. But I think I've got enough interesting players, pitchers that are hitters that are pitchers, is what I'm going to say, that I think I won't lose a ton with him. I get Ricardo Vasquez back. Was it a different Ricardo Vasquez? My apologies. It just kind of sucks, guys. Pablo Perez is actually pretty decent. Good old Puddinhead Perez. This is a deal I think I would make. I'm going to keep looking, but I think Pablo Perez is somebody that's interesting enough to me that I would make the deal. Yeah, let's do it. I'm just going to pull the trigger immediately. I'm not going to overthink this one. Unless I can get like Josh Dorman, which I know that I probably can't. Josh Randy. No, huh? I'll just make this trade as is. I guess Pablo Perez is a jackass. I didn't think to check for something like that, so now I feel kind of silly. You can go to AAA. Oh, you're out of option years. That feels like an important thing I probably should have checked before I traded for him. I mean, you're better than Hugo Gonzalez, right? It'll be hard for you to be much worse, so I guess we try it. Question mark? I still want an upgrade in the outfield, and I'm not getting offers for outfielders, and that makes me very sad, because I think he would actually be quite nice to get ourselves our very own new outfielder. But there's just not, the offers just aren't there. I also need to make sure that I add on a new reliever. Which is probably going to be Josh Heath, unless it's going to be the new guy. Josh Heath threw 10 innings and pitched quite poorly, but that doesn't mean that we give up on him entirely, I don't think. We just bring back Timothy Lawman, don't we? That's the solution here. Terry Matam was very, very excellent for us, so I do feel a little bit sad to see him go, but I think this is possibly fine. And then you can be a middle reliever for me. If I'm really desperate for offense, the guy I need to trade is Nels. I bet Nels returns somebody really good. The problem is that Nels is also very good in and of himself. And he's a big part of the reason why we're doing as well as we are. And while I don't mind trading some relievers, I think trading him is a bridge too far. Nobody's going to want Gorenflo or Magnuson, I don't think. Somebody actually might want Magnuson. What can I get for Magnuson? Yeah, overpriced slop. Not a surprise. I guess I should have expected that. Could you ever play the outfield, Danny Ramirez? No, you can't. Luis Perez is slightly less terrible at playing the outfield. Ron Behrman is okay, I guess. Like, Murguía is the only genuinely good offensive outfielder that I have that isn't already on the roster, so I think we probably bring him up. What can I get for Sam Friels, actually? This is the move that we make. We trade Sam Friels for somebody who's more useful right now. Because I just don't think he's ever going to work out. I truly don't think so. Wow, nobody wants him? That's rude. How could nobody want Sam Friels, despite the fact he's the worst, one of the worst everyday players in the major leagues? It boggles the mind, guys. It does not boggle the mind even a little bit. The thing is, I don't think Grammer deserves to be on the roster either. But at least Grammer is marginally better. A little bit. Kinda. So Murguía, you're our great hope. Our hope is that you figure out how to hit after being in the minors for a bit. Hey, that rhymed. Yeah, Sam Friels, man. You're constantly underplaying your actual capabilities here, but you haven't even been good in the minors for a very long time, so I think maybe we just give up on you. Maybe. Maybe. Well, sure, even slightly okay in the outfield, Danny Ramirez. I'd call you up right now. Sisto Casadora's not bad. I'm kind of into him a little bit. Poor Luis Perez. He desperately wants to be on my roster. He deserves to be in a lot of ways. I just don't have room right now. I don't need an overpriced reliever. Tony Hernandez is at least interesting. Cesar Padilla is less interesting. Here's my counter to you, my friend. I don't want Caceres. And you want something really good for a steal to happen, then I'm not interested. Or am I interested in Caceres? I guess what I could do is I could just acquire him and then just let him leave at the end of the season. He's not totally hopeless, so I suppose there's value in having a veteran arm, even if he doesn't pitch very much. Because I do want Hernandez. I want Hernandez very much. I think he's got... Oh, wait, he's actually a terrible infielder. Never mind. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip to the next him. I'm just gonna reject this trade. I think I'm fine with what happened here. What if I just reject it constantly? What if I did that? Yeah, not a very thrilling deadline. I mean, we got something of value for Terry Matana, I suppose, who's going to leave in the offseason as a free agent. But we're still in rough shape. Like, this is not a world championship offense. It's always possible that they turned it on in the postseason. It's very, very possible. These things do occur. But I don't think it's very smart to put too much money on that. The best I can hope for is that Murguia remembers how to hit again. Like, he takes his punishment, and he's like, oh shit. Edwin Peralta's actually turned out to be a very good player this year, which I'm pretty excited about. Oz Gonzalez got pitcher of the month. Can you imagine what this team would look at if we didn't have a Cy Young caliber pitcher? Now we potentially have two? That's just crazy, man. That's very crazy. Go start a roster expansion, please, and thank you. Willie Vasquez can return. Juan Romero's been kind of trash, so I think we can let him go back to the minors. We can let Willie Vasquez get some playing time again. Not that Willie Vasquez is anything great, but this is meant to be his year, so we're going to let him try to make it his year. I mean, offensively, we're just 14th worst in the American League. Yeah. I think we have to fire the hitting coach. Like, for the entire lineup fails, that's something that has to be addressed. And I can't remove everyone in the lineup, even if sometimes I wish I could. I mean, that's amazing that I just lost all that. New utility infielder, welcome to the big league club, Ron Behrman. Am I really prepared to play Luis Perez in left field, despite the fact I think he'd be pretty bad at it? You know what? I will try literally anything to get this lineup to work in a usual fashion. I think this is highly stupid, and I think it's likely to bite me in the butt, but I don't have a better option for you, game. So let's hope for the best, right? I'm actually fine with Rios getting a little bit of playing time, but I don't want him to get too much playing time. Nah, I don't think Rios is... I think Rios is cooked. I think he is fully seared. He is pan-seared into Bolivian. In the immortal words of the former president of the United States. I mean, I guess like, we could just try Grammar. I guess if somebody just need to let him try, but... I don't know, guys. How's Murguia been looking? He's not great, but we have to try. It is required that we try. What is it with first baseman and outfielders for me? and OOTP 26. I can't find them. Which is just bizarre, right? Like, we play one of the most preeminent hitters parks in the major leagues, and yet it's my pitching that is carrying this team. And there's no mistaking who is carrying this team. It is them. Newcomer of the month, not Luis Perez. Not surprising. Remember when Igarashi was supposed to be the crowning achievement to get an okay roster to be fantastic? That never happened. I'm just gonna put people on the roster just to get them some reps. I think that's fine. Do we let Michael Lonnie just go right to the major leagues, or is that something we don't actually need? I think we don't actually need it. I think we don't actually need it. I thought they didn't give the new guys any like actual playing time, but losing Picard for 2 months is actually kind of shit. I don't like the fact that we lost him, especially when I don't think Michael. How's Caldwell doing? Caldwell's not doing well. His walks are out of control. Andrade's gonna have the exact same problem. Nick Parker isn't anything great. So the unfortunate answer is it's probably Jeff Allen, right? We have to return to Jeff Allen because somebody has to literally be the fifth starter, and it might as well be him. I guess it could be Mitchell Backhouse, but what has your problem been? I think you've just been unlucky. You walk too many people. But then Jeff Allen has not had that particular. No, Jeff Allen also had that problem in the majors. I don't think it really matters who my fifth starter is all that much. I've already clinched a postseason spot. And because the AL West is so terrible, I'm still have a very good chance of ending with a first round bye. Which is just, it's wild to me. This is such a bad team in so many ways, but in the ways that count the most, we're awesome. Our pitching must be something truly legendary to carry this lineup to 97 wins. It's not the worst lineup in recorded history. I don't want to give you that impression, but it's not a good one either. This is not a good lineup. Actually, it scored a seventh in runs scored. How the hell did that happen? I guess Murguia came back and kind of turned it on a bit. Anyways. Playoff Rooster. I guess like Allen marginally better than Backhouse, so I think it's reasonable to keep him on the roster. And all this is fine. Keeping Danny Ramirez over the other guy feels kind of stupid. I'm not going to say that Behrman is incredible, but Behrman is at least a competent... Oh, he doesn't play anything besides second? Then I guess it's literally the exact same thing, so I guess we just kind of live with it. Yeah. Generate me a depth chart, please, and thank you. I could genuinely consider leaving Danny Rios off this postseason roster, but I don't think it's totally unreasonable. And then we're definitely going to go with a four-man rotation. Which means Jeff Allen, easy decision, get in the pen. Alex Gonzalez will be ready to go for game 1 of the ALDS, so we'll let that happen. I don't even know how this lineup is even mid. I truly don't fathom it, except that we just hit lots and lots of home runs and hope for the best. I mean, I guess Jerkovsky actually ended up being a pretty good player this season. Not great with the bat, but pretty good defensively and very good with the bases. So as he gets more experience, I'm sure that'll improve. I guess we do have a lot of home runs, don't we? Somehow Chilo has 17 home runs. You're another guy that strikes out at prodigious rates. Wild. Let me simulate until the next playoff round. Pablo Perez is back. I don't care. I mean, is he any better than Ramirez? Not especially. Might actually just turn around and trade him when the moment permits. My A-ball hitting coach is retiring. Let's see if we can promote somebody to fill those holes. John Selmo is quite good, actually. John Selmo is a multi-time postseason winner. Let's promote him. Any interesting hitting coaches available right now? Not even a little bit. Okay, fine. We'll wait till the off season. Until late next playoff round, please. All right. Let's see what happens here. Damn, Alex Gonzalez got lit up. That's a terrible sign. If the presumptive 3-time Cy Young winner with a nice amount of WAR just got lit up in game 1, I am very scared. I'm very, very scared. Okay, I'll take it. I will absolutely accept it. Alvarado got lit up. I mean, I say lit up. It's relatively speaking, right? Like, he only gave up 2 runs, so he wasn't terrible, but when this offense has been so poor, help? Oh, Justin Rice is retiring. Damn. I always liked him. And hey, we had our one offensive great game, and we just got beaten by the Mariners. I mean, we were doomed the moment Alex Gonzalez had a bad game. Because pitching is just so essential to our success. And we had very similar track records. Igarashi was amazing. Murguia was great. But the lineup basically played like this lineup plays. And so we're out of the postseason. I'm surprised we won one game. I still don't know how we won 97 games. I truly don't. Am I obligated to keep my hitting coach for another season? I might be. I just think that because of how things turned around a little bit in the second half, um, I think it's at least worthy of our consideration. Hill rookie signs Hisanobu Igarashi. Igarashi was pretty great this season. I can't call 97 wins disappointing. That's just incredibly disingenuous, right? 97 wins is objectively an amazing season. That we got bounced out of the postseason is just whatever. All right. Vince Turner, I think for what you bring to the table, I normally would bring you back, but this season you were pretty bad, so goodbye. Danny Rios is a free agent. I cannot pay you $11 million. Andrew Picard legitimately had an incredible season, and I think letting him come back is perfectly fine. Zarn executes his player option. Sato executes his player option. The fans like me more. My team trainer retired. My pitching coach in AAA retired. Rich Gunn got traded. And let's just break it down, yo. Like, what happened in this season? Why did we do well or not so well? Igarashi, was he as advertised? Keep in mind, he basically was held back by about a win and a half just because he was a DH. So he did his job. The reason that we failed is not because of Hisanobu Igarashi. That is true. Edwin Peralta had a genuinely good season. Like, if you're going to be this kind of player, this is how you do it. You play good defense, you hit for lots of home runs, and you have a great time. And that's great. Most years, Jurkowski would probably have a good chance of being Rookie of the Year. Great defense, good base running, bat. He had one. Willie Vasquez had a pretty nice rookie year, relatively speaking again. Chilo is fine, Hernandez is fine, Geronimo is fine. There's a lot of fine here. Don't sleep on Luis Perez's scary good season. I know he's probably a terrible left fielder, but this is another option available to us as a way to get some more consistency in the lineup. And Sam Friels was just very bad, as was Murguia. Now, if we want to take a look just at offense, our only above-average hitters were Perez and Igarashi. Hernandez was close. So was Peralta and Murguia. Murguia's problem is he's a fucking terrible outfielder. Like, he's genuinely a liability to be out there. So, we got to make some improvements to this lineup. Just pitching staff, you guys. I wonder if Alex Gonzalez is going to get tired of winning Cy Young Awards. He's just so good. And if he looks like he isn't quite as good, it's because he wasn't supported as well. He was slightly worse this year. He did walk slightly more hitters and gave up slightly more hits. But he was still fantastic, and I love him, and I'm glad that he's as good as he is. Mike Cole should be Rookie of the Year. To lead the league in walks and yet still be one of the best pitchers in the league is just incredible. And he's only going to get better, in my opinion. So very happy for him and his great performance. Sato and Alvarado. Sato's only problem was getting hurt. Alvarado's only problem was getting hurt. So our rotation was fantastic. And Jeff Allen was here too. Brian Nels was a phenomenal reliever. Our pitching is phenomenal. I just need hitting that can even get in the same ballpark as it. Because we don't get on base, we don't hit for average. All we do is just hit lots of home runs, which makes you look better on WAR than you actually are. But there is a lot of work to be done to make this lineup something that I can feel proud about taking into the postseason. Maybe Luis Perez playing left field is one of those things. But I need to get Murguia out of the outfield pretty badly. I need to make a lot of things happen. I can't get overly attached to one-win players, so maybe we need to make some changes in the infield. Again. Maybe Danny Ramirez gets to play second base next year. Maybe. He's a really good bat. I just don't think he's got a lot else to offer besides his bat. Tarkovsky's fine. He's not the problem here. The problem is that Geronimo and Chilo both had pretty bad years. And that, look, I know Geronimo had an amazing year last year. Love that for us. This is his actual talent level. He's a 1 to 2 win player. And so overpaying for him doesn't do us any favors. Yeah. I need everything. Other than Igarashi and the fact that I can't get rid of Hernandez, literally nobody wants Hernandez, and he also won't waive his no trade clause. Potential is lovely, but too few of you actually turning potential into actual skill. So let's maybe work on that as a franchise in the offseason, okay? There's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do. And I feel so much better if we had... Excuse me. Hmm. I feel a lot better if we had more outfield talent in the minors, too. I think it's what concerns me the most. Like, there's lots of guys who might be okay, but they're all very far away from the majors. So... I don't know. I don't know. Knowing is impossible. Mm. Steve Caldwell, there's a world in which you get a chance to start next year, but the world is one in which this bottom number here goes up. Juan Romero could get a chance next season. Josh Heath always has a chance to come back and do something special. We'll see. Dog is an okay bench bat, I suppose. And here's the scary part. If we look at our prospect pipeline, this is what really concerns me. If we look at just the whitest of Sox, I can't just pick hitter. I've got to pick all players. Fine. Like, my problem is I don't have much in the way of high value hitters. I just don't. No matter how much I've invested in hitting over the seasons, I have not done a good job of developing hitters. How did Herb Berry do this year? We can end the episode by checking in on our old friend here. It's under history, decision history. Herbus Berrius. He basically turned in a carbon copy of the previous season. I mean, he would have been better than, I don't know, maybe Geronimo, but he could come back. But still not upset. We did the right thing. We got the player we needed when we needed him, so this is all fine. But my friends, this is the end of today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed the series so far. I hope you're having a good time with it. And despite this weird ass team, man, I don't even know, guys. I cannot fathom it. But I will say that until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.